Hey everyone, what is up? Thank you so much for being here. If you're new, thank you as well. My name is Rachel. Welcome to the Lipstick Geek. If you were liking, just give it a big thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe if your heart desires. And if you are super liking it a lot enough to open up those notifications, kind of give it a big enough comment if you would like in the comment section, just to give me some kind of an idea as what you would like to see, or if there's something there that you don't see and you would like to give me any suggestions. I am more than willing to try, whether it's makeup or whatever. If you want to talk about something that's on your mind, sure, I can do that. I'm up for any kind of talk about something that's on your mind. I mean, if you have something that's on your mind, if you're going through something and you really just want to talk about it, bring it up. Say, hey Rachel, it's like, I'll just see what I can do. I'm just one of those people like that. Like I said, today we're not going to talk about any kind of makeup. We're going to talk about more true crime. I've been wanting to do this. My sister said, yeah, this is a good one, you should, so this is just between me and her, and I know she's expecting this, and this one's kind of going to be like a big surprise for the rest of you. So if you are a little too young for this, maybe like 15, 16, or 17, and it's one of those reasons why I have this, kind of like more adult video kind of thing. If you are wanting to see it bad enough, ask your parents to open it up for you, or at least have them talk about it, maybe. But if it's blocked for a reason. So with that in mind, if you're an adult, let's just talk about this. We're gonna talk about, there goes my sister again. She's yakking about her job again. Going true crime again. We're going to talk about Richard Ramirez. If anybody remembers the Night Stalker. We are talking about, let's see here, I'll bring up some information here. His full name was Ricardo, otherwise known as Richard Leva Munoz Ramirez. He was born February 29th, 1960, and passed away June 7th of 2013, and otherwise dubbed as the Night Stalker. The media started calling him the Night Stalker. The walking killer and the valley intruder. Was an American serial killer. He was born in El Paso, Texas, and he died in Green Bay, California, here in the United States. He died of liver failure. He stood at 6'1". He eventually did get married, and I'm surprised, that the state would allow him to get married in prison. He married Doreen Loy, and they were married for a very short time, from 1996 to 2013. The only reason why she divorced him was because one of his victims was a child, and she just did not care for the idea that he killed a child. So his parents were Julian Ramirez and Mercedes Ramirez. He went to Jefferson High School, and here he, let's see here, pull this up. He murdered at least 14 people and tortured dozens of others in California after being captured in 1985. He was not taken by the police. He was taken by his own people, believe it or not. He was on the run. The media was kind of like giving the police a really, really hard time about sitting on certain evidence. And then they decided, okay, let's just see how much we can sit on it until, you know, something comes up. So, but anyway, he was taken down by his own people, technically, not the police. The police just were there to take him into custody, technically. He developed epilepsy as a child, and he was a heavy drug user. Richard was kind of somewhat normal for a while. He had at least 2 head injuries. He fell off of a swing and also fell off of a big, huge piece of furniture. And just, I guess, you know, just culminate all that, everything that's going on in there. And because of the fact that he had all that going on up there, I mean, your head is a very sensitive area. The brain and the stem of the brain was kind of like everything that's being affected in there. He was playing football for the school, and then his one of his epileptic seizures kind of, you know, got him thrown off the team. So he decided, okay, you know, that's kind of like a liability. So he got benched, and then eventually he quit. So he became a heavy drug user and eventually got cultivated as an interest in Satanism. He committed at least 30 violent crimes, and that often included rape and torture, mostly during the spring and summer of 1985. He was sentenced to death, but he never actually got put to death because he died of cancer. It's like some kind of small cell cancer of the liver, I believe it was. He was let's see, he was the 5th child of Mexican immigrants, and his father was extremely, how do you want to say it, big on discipline. So it's like, if you did something wrong, he would, you know, like, run after you and give you a beating, for sure. And instead of, you know, like being running away all the time, he decided he was just, you know, gonna say, you know, okay, you know, the heck with the rest of my family, my parents and my 5 other siblings. He was the youngest. He was influenced by his older cousin. He spent a lot of time with Miguel, and he had been recently returned from fighting in Vietnam. They smoked marijuana together. He was pretty young when he started doing this. He was probably like 13, something like that. Yeah, 13. So he was fairly young when he started doing that. And it kind of, affected his whole psyche. His everything that his cousin showed him was just wow. Enough to, make your head spin. And let's see here. Showed him lots and lots of pictures, of just, a lot of like gory stuff. And let's see here. He even witnessed his cousin killing his wife. So that kind of affected him as well. His cousin Miguel was found not guilty of murder by reason of insanity and was released 4 years later. Ramirez himself dropped out of school in the 9th grade. He was arrested for the first time in 1977 for marijuana possession. He moved to California, formed a cocaine addiction, progressed to burglary, and cultivated an interest in Satanism. He was arrested twice in the Los Angeles area for auto theft in 1981 and again in 1984, and noticeably began to neglect his personal hygiene. Eventually, instead of, just thieving all the time, he turned to violence. His first discovered murder on June 28th was a 79-year-old Jenny Vincow. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Who he sexually assaulted, stabbed, and killed during a burglary in her home. He just kind of, turned the place upside down. Let's see. How do you want to say this? She was sexually assaulted, stabbed, and killed during a burglary in her home. What followed was a spray of brutal rapes and robberies, leaving dozens of victims in his wake. I mean, he practically almost at one point had the grip of the whole state of California. And just, oh my goodness. Let's see. Then he struck again 9 months later on March 17th. In 1985, he attacked Maria Hernandez, who did manage to escape. Her keys deflected the bullet, but then he killed her roommate, Dale Ogasaki. Let's see, I don't know how old Maria was, but Dale was only 34. He also, in the same evening, killed Salian Yu, I think I pronounced this correctly, who was only 30, the same evening, spurring a media frenzy. And that's when they started calling him the Valley Intruder. 10 days later, he murdered a 64-year-old Vincent Zazara and his 44-year-old wife, Maxine. The husband was shot first, and then his wife was brutally assaulted and stabbed to death. In this case, he went a little bit more, and he also gouged out Maxine's eyes. So he kind of, started getting a little more gory with it. Full-scale operation yielded no concrete results with this. Ramirez repeated his attack pattern on retirees William and Lillian Doy. In May of '85, over the next few months, his murder rate escalated, claiming another dozen victims in a frenzy of burglary, assault, and brutal violence, complete with a satanic crap. Holy cow. I mean, pentagrams all over the wall. Los Angeles Police Department responded by putting together a dedicated task force. And if anybody remembers the pictures. Those scary looking pictures that used to scare the living daylights out of you, if anybody remembers them. And at this point now, let's see. Frank Salerno and Gil Carrillo were the ones that were on the task force and were really, really doggedly determined to get this guy. I mean, this guy was just bad news. There was a lot of pressure on these people to get, you know, Ramirez. All it needed was one thumbprint from a vehicle that he did not wipe clean the vehicle. One thumbprint. Let's see, because of 80 descriptions out of at least a couple people that he managed to survive, it kind of forced him to leave the Los Angeles area and then forwarding himself into the north part of California into San Francisco, where he takes 2 more victims, Peter and Barbara Pan, who were 66 and 64 at the time, on August 17th. And that's when, I'm trying to remember, because if you see the movie, you have to see the movie, because there was a made-for-TV movie called Manhunt, Search for the Night Stalker. When they walk into the crime scene, see everything that's going on, and then the San Francisco officer says, oh, by the way, he left a message with the wife. They say, oh yeah, what? So it's like, tell him the Night Stalker was here. So it's getting really, really bold. Really, really bold. Let's see here. August 24th of 85. He's back in LA. This soon led to his capture. He was first spotted outside a Mission Viejo home where he unwittingly left a footprint. We're talking about that famous Avia shoe print. Nice big waffle print right outside everybody's windows. Nobody knows about this until trying to think, she was the mayor at the time, Diane Feinstein. She goes and leaks all the information on the ballistics and on the footprints, and eventually he ditched the shoes off the bridge. Who knows whatever happened to all the guns? I have no idea. But one of the witnesses took note of the car and the license plate, because now he's in Mission Viejo, and he went and raped another woman in her home and then shot her fiance. The victim provided a detailed description of her assailant, and he forced her to swear her love for Satan. Ramirez's abandoned car was found a few days later, complete with enough of a fingerprint to make a match, and his criminal record enabled the police to finally put a name to the Night Stalker. National TV and print media featuring his prison photo along with series of clues, witnesses, and survivors led to his capture on August 31st after he was badly beaten by East LA residents while attempting 2 carjackings. Okay, we're talking trial, conviction, and sentencing. He was waiting in jail as his trial was continuously pushed off. The delay marked by a series of motions and bickering between the prosecutors and the defense attorney because the geographical spread of the crimes, because he was either in LA, downtown LA, or in Diamond Bar, in Whittier, and other places. There were like a lot of, like zoning issues all over the place. It just complicated the scope of the trials with the jurisdictional issues. Some of the charges against him were dropped in order to expedite what was becoming a long journey to justice. The jury selection process finally moved forward to July 22nd of 1988. The trial commenced following the following January. During this time, Ramirez started attracting cult-like following of supporters, kind of like groupies, girl groupies. We're talking like goth girls, I guess you could say that. Many of them were clad in black, Satan worshippers. Ramirez himself often dressed in black, along with the dark shades, the sunglasses in the courtroom. Another delay occurred when one of the jurors was found murdered. Some people thought it was Ramirez, doing something from within the prison and asking for help from the outside to orchestrate something. But they found that was not the case. September 20th of 89, the jury finally returned a unanimous guilty verdict on 43 charges, including 13 counts of murder, 5 counts of attempted murder, 11 sexual assault charges, and 14 burglary charges. 2 weeks later, the same jury recommended the death sentence on 19 counts. Leaving the courtroom, Ramirez responded, "Hey, big deal. Death always comes with the territory. I'll see you in Disneyland." What a guy, huh? The convicted murderer was formally sentenced to death by gas chamber on November 7th, 1989, was sent to San Quentin prison in California to spend the remainder of his days. Those disgusting teeth of his. And he did get them fixed while he was in prison. It was the most noticeable aspect of his poor hygiene. And that was the one thing that people that he left alive to witness. The one thing the witnesses remembered was his bad teeth. It's the one thing you really have to see with the movie. See the movie. It's definitely a good one, because there were several missing. They were decayed. There were probably several abscesses in there. He used to do so many drugs and eat so many sweets and drink a lot of sodas. It's very, very bad for your teeth. And at least 2 survivors, including Lillian Doyle, told police that he had bad teeth. During his trial, his father claimed his son was in El Paso, Texas in '85 when he allegedly raped 3 women and murdered 1. However, records from LA dentist's office showed Ramirez had appeared for an appointment under an assumed name. They did say that the health of his teeth improved after he was arrested, and a dentist for the department performed a root canal. Wow. He made several fillings while he awaited trial. So if he flashed a smile for the camera, he's not going to, have those disgusting teeth. There are, let's see, 6. Like I said before, he did marry one of his supporters, 41-year-old Doreen Loy. She believed that he was innocent and wrote him dozens of letters before they eventually met in San Quentin. According to the LA Times, she was very, very loyal to Ramirez and visited him in prison 4 times a week. However, her family disowned her following their marriage. I mean, who wouldn't? But, whatever. She reportedly severed their relationship with Ramirez in 2009 when a DNA sample connected him to the rape and murder of a 9-year-old girl in San Francisco. There is no official record of a divorce. They did have no children. And apparently he is not known to have fathered any children in his lifetime. Let's see. There was a woman named Christine Lee who claimed on Geraldo Rivera's show that she was engaged to Ramirez, but didn't offer any details of their relationship. People just wanted to treat him like a superstar. He wanted that superstar image. And I don't know why people want to do that. That's especially if you've been convicted of doing stuff like that. That is just beyond me. That's just mind-blowing. He did make one long-awaited appeal to the California State Supreme Court in 2006. It had been rejected. He died on June 7, 2013 at the age of 53 from complications related to B-cell lymphoma. He likely died alone, as friends and family would not have been allowed inside his secured room. They have made several documentaries on his story. There is one on, there was one on Lifetime with, in 2016 with the made-for-TV film The Night Stalker. Let me see here, because a lot of this was the one on Lifetime is completely fictionalized. But that was the one in 2016. There was one a lot there are a lot of ones that are a lot more current. because there are some that are on Netflix. There are ones that aren't quite right. It says that his crimes were the subject of the 4-part Netflix documentary Night Stalker: The Hunt for a Serial Killer in 2021. This series features commentary from the 2 homicide detectives who broke the case. That was Go Carrillo and Frank Salerno. The latter was known for his work in solving the Hillside Strangler, and those were the ones from 77 and 78. And those were also made into a movie and were really, really good. But if you want a good movie that is not, like totally like unfictionalized, and a lot of people say it's not the best movie, but I think, in my own opinion, that if you see Manhunt, The Search for the Night Stalker, is probably one of the better ones. It has some good acting. Some really, really good acting. And it just seems to have, some stellar actors in there too. I mean, A. Martinez is in there, and some other ones. But they don't show all the what am I trying to say? All the actual crime scene footage, I guess you could say, because there was apparently he did a lot of like he would beat people about the head. He would like stomp people with his feet. He would cut them. He would do whatever he could to see the blood and get off on it. That's exactly what it was for him. It was like a sexual release for him for some reason. From what I remember, it's like, because I have seen a couple of things on YouTube, and remembering, an interview that I remember seeing in the 90s, and I think it was on Maury Povich, that he got aroused from the violence. I don't know what it is, but there it is. Richard Ramirez in the flesh, the crazy Night Stalker. So if you have any other ones that you would like me to cover, let me know. Heck, if you want me to talk about John Wayne Gacy, I can do that. But don't ask me to look at pictures of clowns, because I'm scared to death of clowns. Thanks so much, and I will see you soon.